Welcome back to Balance with Bailey. You guys, today I'm so excited because I have one of my nurse content creator besties, Annabelle, here with me. If you want to just tell them a little bit about you, because I know we've been friends and like online for basically like a year now, it feels like. It's been a while.
I know.
So I feel like we know a lot about each other, but you can like tell everybody about you.
Okay. So I'm Annabelle. If you don't know me, I am a cardiac nurse. I've been a nurse for 3.5 years now. I'm in Atlanta, born and raised in Atlanta. And I work in Atlanta. I am still at the same hospital that I've been at when I graduated college. I just love it so much. So I work with the geriatric population on a cardiac step-down unit, and I love everything cardiac. People always ask me if I would like switch to a different specialty, and I'm like, no, I like cardiac through and through. And I love my grandmas and grandpas. Okay. So I went to college in Georgia. I stayed in state. I went to Georgia College and State University, and they luckily had a nursing program. So people always ask if I like knew I was gonna do nursing like when I was younger, and my mom would say yes. My mom like always knew I was going to go into something nursing related. I always wanted to help people, and like originally I went into school with a psych degree thinking I was going to do psych. I thought I was going to like open my own practice and like do all this stuff. And then I was like, sis, you're going to have to go to a lot of school if you're going to want to do that. And I will say I'm like not a big school person. Like, the fact that I made it through nursing school is honestly a miracle, because I am not the best student. But for all my nursing students that watch this, just because you don't get straight A's on your test, your performance on tests does not make who you will be as a nurse. Like, you will still be a great nurse, even if you are not a good test taker, because I feel like I can testify to that. I was in and out of college in 4 years. I applied to the nursing school at my program, or at my school, what would it be, like the semester? So the sophomore, or I was my second year, whatever semester. So I was in and out in 4 years, which was amazing. Even when I was in nursing school, I knew that I was going to do cardiac. I think I was the only person in my cohort that was like cardiac. Yes. A lot of people were like labor and delivery, NICU, and I was like, no, like I want to like go in with the cardiac stuff. So, I worked at an outpatient cardiology clinic when I was in college. And so that exposed me to a lot. I also get a lot of questions like if nurse externships and like all that stuff is necessary. And like, yes, it's helpful to like expose you to the hospital system, but like I never did one of them. I like wanted to enjoy my last summer in college. So I didn't do a nurse externship, but I was exposed to like cardiac stuff, and like I got to see a lot in the outpatient clinic that I worked at.
School, I wanted to do like adult trauma. Like I was like, I love adrenaline, like put me on the helipad, like all this stuff. And then I ended up in the PICU, which is peds ICU. So like, did not think I would work with kids, did not think I would do ICU. Like I wanted like chaos, crazy. And then after my clinicals in the ED, I was like, I think I have OCD. Like, I think I need planned chaos versus like everything everywhere.
Okay, and so many people that I know that work in the ED, they're like, it's like organized chaos. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I am the type, we're probably the same. Like, I want all of my lines to be labeled and beautiful and like everything to be organized. And like in the ED, there's none of that. You don't have time.
Like my 2-hour charting, like I know what I'm going to chart. I know what's going on. Like if something goes wrong, I already have A, B, C, and D planned out. Like there's no exactly like, randomly things happening.
I know, which so much respect to you also for working with peds, because I love children and I love babies. I could not imagine working in a nursing setting with them. So like props to you.
Thanks. So honestly, amazing. Like I could not imagine doing anything else. And like it's like 2-year-olds are like my favorite because they're so chunky and cute and just excited and don't really know what's going on. And so I'm hanging out with them. Or like, yes, the way my hospital works is when PICU's like super slow, we get floated to like peds med surge. So I worked the past 2 days and I was on peds med surge. And so it's
Oh,
so fun to get to like have the mix of both. And like yesterday, my kids were like on high flow and like basically just chilling and like getting to play with them versus like when they're intubated and stuff. I'm like, changing a diaper is so easy. Like my friend works in
oh.
adult ICU and I'm like, you have to help adults. I'm like, ew.
Wait, so do you like being able to be floated from like ICU to med surge?
It's nice because like I stay within the kids population and like our children's
Yeah.
hospital because Idaho's so small and we only have one children's hospital in the whole state, which is crazy, but
Oh my
it's nice.
gosh.
But you don't know until like right before your shift. And they're like, hey, you're gonna be on med surge. And I'm like, okay, I have to turn that part of my brain on now and like switch over. But
Seriously.
it's always something new and always like
Yeah.
getting to have different patients, which can be fun.
Yeah. I feel like that also makes you a really good nurse, being able to be like flexible like that and like kind of like switch your brain to like a different mode, you know?
Oh,
That's cool.
yeah.
That's cool. I feel like they do not, with adult ICU, at least at my hospital, I don't think they float ICU nurses to come work like med surg or anything. They would probably walk out, honestly. They'd be like, yeah, I'm
No.
clocking out. I'm not.
Yeah, it's crazy because it's such a different type of nursing. They're like, oh, well, it's all kids. And I'm like, switching my brain from like a 1-to-1 to like 4-to-1, like 4 to me. I'm like, at first, I'm like,
Yes.
or if I get an older kid and they can talk to me, I'm like, so what are we talking about? Like, what are the cool kids saying these days?
And like the time like you know how to manage your time with like a 1-to-1, I'm sure. But then you're like, hold on, I'm adding 3 more to the equation, and like I don't know, I can't imagine. So that's great for you to be
Pretty
able to do
crazy,
that.
but you know, we do it. Like, I show up,
Yes.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have to be flexible.
Yeah. No, and I feel like nurses are just like a different breed in that way. Like you just show up. Like you never know what's gonna happen.
Yes. And I feel like a lot of us nurses like bring that into like our daily lives too. Like, I don't know. I think since starting nursing, I have just become even more of like a laid back person because I'm like, whatever. I don't care. Like, I don't care, you know, like
Yeah.
things happen at work and you just have to learn to be like, okay, let's like roll with the punches. Like, we're just gonna, let's go.
Or on my day off,
And
like I'm not making a decision. Like I don't care
no,
what's going on. I'm not picking what's going on. Like I'm
no,
sitting back.
decision fatigue is real.
Yeah.
Yes.
100%. How
Yes.
was your snow? I just saw that you were snow.
Oh my gosh. Snowed in. So many people, like, when I posted stuff, they were like, girl, that's like a dusting. I'm like, no, 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 trust me. I know it's not a lot of snow, but like Atlanta does not know how to prepare for this. And like we got snow, like a lot of snow for Atlanta a few weeks back. And I feel like the city like prepared a lot for it. Like the roads were already pre-salted. So like honestly, I had no issue. I worked that night. I drove home, no problem. If I had tried to drive this like recent time, everybody, like the black ice was crazy. There were roads shut down. Like they did not prepare at all. So I was actually on the phone with my friend who was working, and she was like, I might walk to your apartment because she lives like an hour away. I work with so many people who like commute an hour to work, which I'm like, couldn't be me. But she was like, I might have to like walk to your apartment, like sleep over. And I was like, yeah, yeah. And I was like, honestly, I have to work tomorrow. Like, I don't want to have to wake up at like 4 o'clock and walk to work because it's like a 45-minute walk. Um, and so I like scrounged to like pack a bag. I just like threw a bunch of food in a lunchbox. Did not think anything through. And I didn't eat dinner before I got there. I was like, okay, well, the cafeteria is closed. I have like vending machine. It was a mess, and thank God it was only for one night. But like, I am glad that I ended up staying the night because so many people couldn't get to work. It was just a mess. I will like tell my kids one day, like, yep, I had to walk to work. I feel like once in a blue moon, it can be like fun and exciting, especially like if you have friends there with you. But like, oh my God, never again. I have a soft spot for these patients that sleep in these hospital beds now.
That also gives you so much time with your coworkers to be like, oh my gosh, I'm learning so much about you and like your family in general.
Yeah, I still just assume that everybody's in the same stage of life that I'm in. So I'm like, wait, what do you mean you have 3 kids that you have to go home to and like feed and like you like I forget that I'm the youngest on the unit. My best friend on the unit who like we are best friends like outside of work too. Like I'm gonna be with her tonight, tomorrow. she's 34, 35, so she's like 10 years older than me. And it's so funny because like she seems really young too. She doesn't have kids. She's not married. And like in conversation, I'll like refer something like about TikTok, and she's like, "You forget that I'm like 10 years older than you. I'm not on TikTok." Like, I'm like, God, I just feel like you're my age.
I don't know what it is, but I feel like it's the same thing where I just assume everyone's at the same stage of life as we are, and then they're like, I'm a grandma.
Yes.
I'll fully think someone's like 35 and then they have grandkids.
What do you mean you're a grandma?
As nurses, I feel like we're so involved in our patients' lives that like they want to know about us, so they always ask us questions. And it's so funny because I always make stuff up, honestly, because I'm like, I don't know. Like people always assume that I have kids because I work with kids, and I'm like, yeah, like I have 4 kids at home, or like I'm married or something like that. And it's so funny because everyone always gets so confused. Like I honestly just make stuff up. Like I'm gonna keep myself entertained, and this is how.
Like your coworkers or your patient?
Honestly, it's like my patients' families.
Yeah.
But because the parents always ask, I'm like, yeah, I'm a mother of 5. I live on a farm in the middle of nowhere. Totally make it up sometimes, and I think it's so funny because like they're never gonna see me again, or they're never gonna know.
No. It is funny though how like that's the first question that people like to ask. It's like, so do you have any kids? It's like, can you imagine if I like couldn't get pregnant or something? And that's like the first question that I get, you know, like, I don't know.
I also think it's part of like just being a girl.
Like, what? Why is that the first, you know, like, how long have you worked here? How about the important questions? Like, that might make you feel a little bit safer.
I feel like no matter where you are, what you do as a nurse, you get questions like that where it's like, oh, are you married? How many kids do you have? All of that stuff.
Yes. No, seriously. And like, you know, they tell you in nursing school, like, not to get attached, like all this stuff. But it's like when you're spending, like, I don't know if you like doing, do you like doing your 3 days in a row?
Right now I'm rotating, but if I'm on days, I space it out a little bit.
Yeah.
But if I'm on night shift, I do my 3 nights in a row, so I'm just like done with it.
Do you like that?
I don't know why, but I'm just one of those people that loves night shift.
You thrive on night shift. Night shift was like made for you. Like, I was just thinking about this before I got on with you, and I was like, honestly, like, you and night shift, just like, I don't know. There are some nurses that I feel like should switch to days because I can just tell that they're very unhappy. You seem like you just like thrive on nights and like you get shit done and yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
I honestly think it's because I have such a good routine and I have a setup for when I work my 3 nights.
Yeah.
So like those 3 nights, I just completely flip my schedule.
Okay, that makes sense. So like, especially if you work 3 in a row, I feel like, you know, I always get my same patients back unless they go home. And so it's like you just build relationships and you talk a lot, like you're there for 12 hours. So it's like hard not to get attached. I don't know.
Especially if you have them for multiple shifts in a row, it makes it so much harder.
Yeah.
Since I work with kids, my patients don't really ever say anything about my TikTok, but you work with older adults. Like, does anyone ever say anything to you about it?
So none of my patients have said anything. I've had like people who have come to visit other patients that have noticed me or something. And like one follows me and is like constantly on my live now. And she's like such a supportive person. Like, you just never know what you're going to get. I feel like too in healthcare, like people are either going to be like, oh, no, I don't want her as my nurse. Like if they know that you have a TikTok, like people are either going to be like, oh my God, like I love you. Or they're going to be like, oh no, I don't want you as my nurse because like you have a social media presence. I don't know. And like, I would respect that decision completely, but you just never know how people are going to react. My coworkers are literally the most supportive people. Yeah, most of them at least. The ones that are outspoken about my content are like very supportive. I don't know if the other people like even watch it, but I've had coworkers who have literally made a TikTok just so that they can like watch my stuff and keep up, and like it's so cute. So I am very lucky that I don't have like mean gossipy coworkers that like talk about my stuff. And even if they did, like whatever. Y'all are, it's giving fan energy. Like so much respect to you, because how do you have a podcast and do social media and work a full-time nursing job? Like, no, literally. Yup. It's a grind. Okay. I was at the hospital for like an outpatient appointment and I wasn't even in scrubs. And like 2 different girls came up to me and were like, and I was like, me? Are you me? Like, it's so funny because like, I mean, I don't know if you feel this way, but I'm like, yes, I have a following, but like I'm still just, I don't know. Like, it doesn't feel real.
No, I love it. Because it's like, it's not real life. Like, it's just like my phone, and then you're out and about, and you're like, wait, like, I'm kind of like making an impact a little bit. Like, people actually watch. Like, it's not just like numbers.
Yes, exactly. It's very cool.
I'm obsessed with your like day in the life and get ready with me. Like, what started you filming all of this, and like, how do you edit it? Like, what's your like whole process? I feel like everyone always just sees stuff and never really thinks about like the behind the scenes, but like, what started it all?
So do you mean like my day in the life of like a cardiac nurse, like the days,
of that,
like my long format stuff?
Yeah.
So honestly, I don't know. I started content like, I want to say like a year ago now. And like, I just kind of like would make like little outfit videos and stuff like that. And then I was like, I want to romanticize my nursing career, because I was like, I don't know, at the time that I started all this, I feel like there wasn't like a ton of nursing content out or something, maybe. And for like valid reasons, like people are like too, like very scared to like dabble in nursing stuff, just because like healthcare is a very like sensitive topic and stuff. So anyway, so I was like, I want to romanticize nursing and show people like you can have a balance. And so anyway, I started just doing like, I think I started with just like photos of like day in the life, and it was like a slideshow of like what I did throughout the day, whatever. And then I don't even know how my whole like vlog style stuff came about, but I just started getting more and more like comfortable talking to the camera. Like at first it just felt like weird. I am a yapper. Like I can talk to anybody. So like talking to a camera now does not bother me. Like people are like, do you feel weird like talking to yourself? I'm like, no, because I talk to myself all throughout the day.
I'm doing it anyway. So
yes. So might as well film it and like get, views, whatever. So I'm trying to think. I feel like there was maybe like somebody who I saw that type of like long format vlogs. I don't know. Like it literally, I had no, like, I didn't think I would even like get a following. Like I didn't do it for that. It was just like almost to like have a diary of my days. Like I kind of like did it more so for me. And then once people started to like pick up on it, there was a point where like I had to sit down with my manager and be like, okay, let's so my social media page is like kind of taking off, and if I'm gonna like continue to do this, and my manager is amazing, he's like very understanding, like he's younger, so like he gets the whole like social media thing, and he's like, we can't tell you to like stop doing social media, but if you're gonna keep doing it, this is like the ways that you should go about it. So anyway, I like wanted to make sure I went through and like vetted a lot of my videos just to make sure that like our hospital policy with like social media, because at the time that I started, we didn't have a social media policy out. Like there was no clear written policy. So like I sat down with him, they had come up with a policy, whatever. So I like started to kind of like vet out videos that I was like, oh, I don't want to like overstep any lines and like get in trouble with the hospital. So I feel like I like kind of tweaked my format throughout the year, but the like, I don't know. So in the mornings, behind the scenes, this is my like behind the scene video. So I usually have my tripod and my light like sitting in my bathroom, so that like when I wake up in the morning, I'll like prop up my phone and just like I'm getting ready, I'll talk to the phone or something. Or like when I wake up in the morning, I'll just like, I always film on 0.5 when I'm not using my like phone and my light and stuff. I film on my camera, on my iPhone camera on 0.5. So like if I ever am like filming in my room or something like that, whatever. And then once I'm getting ready, I have my light on. And then just for the sake of like carrying my light around, I like put my light down once I'm like done getting ready. And I just like will film in my kitchen, like prop my phone up while I'm getting ready or while I'm making breakfast and stuff. But I usually will film while I'm getting ready at home. Like maybe walking into the hospital or something, and then on my breakfast 15-minute break, my lunch 30-minute break, and then if I ever like pop into the bathroom, I'll like, whatever. But I do make sure like not to film in like the med room or like the hallway anymore. So, and then like during my lunch break, if I'm not like eating with anybody, I'll start to like edit my videos during my lunch break just so it's not so much to do at home, because like when I'm in bed, I don't want to have to do all that.
Especially let's be real, like 13-hour day. You're like,
yes,
that's not gonna happen.
No. And like there have been times where like I've gone out at night, like I will post for my people. There are times that I've like gone out after work or something. I've had like a margarita or two, and I'm so tired when I get in bed that I like fall asleep while I'm editing the video, and I wake up and I'm like, what did I do? Oh, they're waiting. Yes. But yeah, honestly, I feel like I've gotten the editing down to like such a, quick thing that now it takes me like maybe 15 minutes to like edit the rest of it when I get home, and then I just upload it.
That's so nice. I know. Like that's the biggest thing. It's like people are like, how do you do all that? It's like honestly just like a routine at this point, and like you kind of like, get out, and then at some points like I also don't. This is so funny because I have a podcast, but I hate listening to my voice, so I don't even watch it half the time. I'll drop it up and be like, well, that's good enough.
Yes. I do not go back to listen to my videos. After I edit them, I upload them. I don't listen to them back unless I get like a comment that's like, like I offended somebody or something. I'll like go back and like listen to something. But like, no, I don't listen back to mine either.
No, totally. And I have a younger brother. He's only 13 months younger than me, so we're like basically twins. But he's always like the first to like watch or like listen to the podcast, and he'll text me and be like, "You shouldn't say this," or be like, "What are you doing?" Like that's like incriminating. I'm like, "Oh, okay, I'll say it."
Brutally honest, we need that, honestly.
But I'm like, you're like my editor, great, because I just upload it, and then he's like, maybe we should take this part out. I'm like, okay, good thing you're the first one to listen to it. So.
Yes. Wait, that's nice to have. None of my brothers are on TikTok, which like I don't know that like they would even watch my stuff if they were on TikTok. They're all older than me, and they're just like so far removed from like the social media thing. They used to make fun of me at first, and then once they learned that like I was getting things out of it, they were like, okay, respect. Like,
I love getting those calls or something, or if someone's like said something before and then it's like kind of weird or they don't really talk about it, and they're like, wait, like you like get sent stuff or like you can make money from this, and I'm like, yeah, and then they're like, oh, okay. I'm like, like because I do.
Yes, don't shut your mouth. Yeah, my mom is so funny. So I with the whole TikTok ban, whatever, I made a nursing Instagram, and I still post stuff on my nursing Instagram, and like will post my day in the life like a day later. Like obviously TikTok is like my primary platform, but my mom didn't have TikTok, so she never really watched my stuff, but her friends at work would watch my stuff and just be like, oh my god, like Annabelle's content. Like I feel so lucky that so many people are so supportive of it, because I've heard other people who just have the opposite thing. And so now that I have moved my stuff to Instagram, partly my mom, she was like, yeah, I had like a few glasses of wine the other night, and I was sending your stuff to just like everybody, and I was like, what? Like who? And she's like, she's naming off people that I like haven't talked to in years, and she's like sending my vlog. She's like, I want people to like see your content and like help you make your money. Oh my god, so sweet. Yeah,
like just she got a TikTok when like my brother and I would talk about it, but the only thing is like she only really watches my stuff, and like my brother's girlfriend posts a little bit, but she always comments like the same things and the same emojis, and I'm like, thank you, Lisa, like hyping me up. Like I can always count on her for a comment and a save. Like she knows.
Yes, I love it. Moms are the most supportive,
literally. Also like because I've been doing about the same time, like almost a year. And my boyfriend and I have been together for a year too. And he doesn't even have Instagram. So I'm like, we're like polar opposites of like, he does not post and he's so far removed, but loves my stuff. And like his family watches my stuff and his like little siblings.
So honestly, love that.
He'll be like, Mom, like we did this today. And she's like, oh, I already know, I saw Bailey's vlog. Like, you don't even have to tell me.
I love a no social media king. That's great.
But he's also so supportive. Like, he loves doing outfit videos, even though he won't admit it. Or, like, for my birthday, he bought me a tripod with the light on it. And I was like,
Oh
yo,
my
yeah,
gosh.
fully on his own, too. I was like, so proud. Such a proud moment.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
How did y'all meet?
So random. So I'm originally from New Jersey, and I'm here in Boise, Idaho. So random. And the week
Yeah.
before I graduate, I went out with my friends, and she had a crush on this guy, and he was there with his roommate, and my boyfriend was his roommate.
The roommate. Okay.
They talked, and then nothing ever even happened, and then we just like started hanging out, and like over a year now.
Oh, wait, I love that so much. I love an authentic meeting. Like,
A little
nowadays,
country,
a little what?
country dive bar.
Oh my gosh, that's so cute. That's like ideal.
So wholesome, and his whole family's from here too. So I'm like, well, now I'm never leaving because he works with his family too. So I'm
Oh
like
my
living the
gosh.
Idaho life. I'm like gonna homestead or something.
So, wait, what brought you to Idaho in the first place? School?
Yeah, nursing school.
Okay. Okay.
It was so random. I was like, they have a blue football field, and it sounds fun. I decided to go here before I'd ever been here. I had never been here before.
So, did you like school there?
Yeah. So I was like,
Okay.
I can always transfer. Like, it'll be fine, whatever. And then I just showed up, and I was like, wait, it's kind of cute and like wholesome.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I need to too.
I feel like you're like the perfect example of this. How you balance your life as like a girl in your 20s, but also work in healthcare. Because I feel like that's such a niche thing for people like us. And like girls always want advice and like what you would tell yourself looking back first
Yeah.
couple years, like how you balance it all now.
So let's see. I feel like my college experience set me up for like thriving now as like a single 25-year-old. I don't know. I had a serious relationship for like 2.5 years, and it like long story short, it was terrible. It like took all of the independency from me. Like I like forgot, how to be independent and stuff. And like prior to that relationship, I was super independent, like, very picky, whatever. Lost all of that when I was in that relationship. And so I had to like relearn how to be independent my senior year. Thank God it ended before my senior year because I was fully able to like focus on my last 2 semesters of nursing. I just like kind of relearned everything slowly so that when I graduated, I did move back with my parents post grad for like 6 months, and I like couldn't recommend that to people more. Like I know, of course, after college, like all you want to do is like live alone, and like having to go back to your parents sucks. But in the long run, I was able to save a ton of money. They were super supportive, and if you're able to do it, what's 6 months in, the grand scheme of things. So I lived with them for 6 months, and then I saved up enough money to finally move out. Once the 6 months was up, I was like, okay, like it's time to move out. Like, so yes, I like kind of decided it on a whim, and I went to go tour this apartment. It's actually this same apartment complex that I live in now. I've lived here, like on and off. So I like moved in here, and then I did like a little travel nursing gig for like 13 weeks. And then I ended up coming back to this apartment because I loved it so much. But when I moved out of my parents, I was like, I think I really want to live alone. Like I really want to try living alone just because I am such a like a neat freak. And like, I think people, if they lived with me, would think I have like serial killer tendencies. Because I am like constantly like wiping down my counters. Like I hate mess. I hate clutter. So I was just like going into nursing. I don't want to have to like come home to a roommate that has like stuff everywhere. So I decided to live alone. And I feel like that in the beginning, like really pushed me to like, embrace the independency. So I was like walking places alone. I lived right by the Beltline. So like I would go walk to get groceries, and I just like kind of embraced the like aloneness. And I don't know. I think I'm trying to think because like I have traveled places alone. I think once you conquer social anxiety and you just like keep pushing the limit. Like, you just keep realizing, like, you can do so much more alone than you think you can. So it's like baby steps. Like, first go take yourself on a walk alone, and then go take yourself out on a solo date, and then go take a solo trip. Like, I think people just are way too concerned about what others might like judge them as being alone, but it's like, nobody, like, you're not that important to anybody else. Like, nobody's paying attention to you more than you are to yourself. And so, yeah. So I think I just like did little things here and there that I like kept pushing my social anxiety. And like literally 2 years ago, I was solo traveling in Europe, and it was so much fun. I like my mom, of course, being the only girl in my family, my mom's like, you need to have a little bit more fear. And I'm like, I'm not going to live my life in fear. I will be careful and be vigilant, but like, I will not let that stop me from like living, you know?
I feel like that's such a nurse thing too, is like, we're so used to you have to learn how to like talk to everyone and anyone at like awkward times and like ask questions. But I feel like that's so easy to like transition outside of that. I was visiting a friend in Chicago a couple weeks ago, and she dances for the Bulls. So I went to the Bulls game, but I was like, oh, she's dancing. Like, I have no one to go with. And I was like channeling my inner Annabelle. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to go. I'm going to get a marg, and I'm going to go sit in a random seat, like third row. So I ended up third row at the game, and I was like, this is kind of fun. Like, it was so where I was like, people are going to think I'm so weird for being at a basketball game. No one even looked at me. Like, people were like complimenting my jacket that I stole from her, like random stuff. But it was so much fun and like such a learning curve of being like, wait, like, you have to remind yourself to do things like that. And I feel like living alone, that's such a good like reminder of it, and forcing yourself to even like, I have 3 roommates that I've known for a long time now, and like, I love them. One of them's a nurse, but it's like, we all do a lot of stuff together, but even forcing myself to go do stuff by myself on my random days off where everyone's working.
Yes.
I feel like it's such a good thing. Then once you start doing it, that like inner confidence just comes out.
For sure. I like forget. So I have a group of girlfriends in Atlanta, and like they're like spread out through like 3 houses, and so they all live with each other, you know. And so of course, when you live with roommates, I feel like it's very normal to be like, oh, I have to go to the grocery store, you want to come with me? And so like, living alone, it's like, you don't want to have to wait on anybody to be like, yeah, I have to go to the grocery store. So like, if I couldn't recommend it more for people to just like try and live alone for a little bit. Obviously, if roommates work for you, like amazing. And like, I understand that not everybody can just like pay for a 1-bedroom. So I don't know. I do think that has been like a very big thing that has pushed me out of my comfort zone, in a lot of ways. So, and then from there, it's like, you learn to go to the grocery store alone, and then you learn to go to church alone, and then you learn to go to workout classes alone. And like, you're no longer intimidated by like walking into a room of people who you have no idea. I don't know.
That's something actually that you mentioned I love that I've been doing lately, is going to church alone, because I was so scared, and like, I was just kind of like finding my faith and like going to different places. And then I was like, you know what, like, I'm just gonna go try a whole bunch of different ones, find which one I like and like calls to me, and then just like go alone. And like, now my boyfriend will come with me, but like sometimes he skis on Sundays, and I'm like, okay, you go ski, like, I'm gonna go do this. But I think that's one of the best things that I've done in the past like year, is doing something like that alone. No one thinks anything of it, and then I feel like it's just so much more like you and God kind of vibe. So I love that you said that you do that, because I think that's important and something a lot of people don't think about.
Yes. I have like a few different churches that I go to around me, but like my favorite one, it's like an hour, 30 minutes, which like normally the church that I go to is just like an hour, maybe like 50 minutes. And I go with a friend. But it is very different. Like, it's a very different vibe when I go alone. Like, I will cry when they're singing, you know, when I'm alone. It's just very different. And like, when I'm sitting next to my friend, like, it's so much more tempting to just like whisper and like, you know, not be fully present. So yes, I love going alone. Like,
yeah. Oh no, I totally do that. Like, I'm the one who like walks in and just starts bawling for no reason. Like, they haven't even started.
Like, yes, party feeling the Holy Spirit.
No, literally. And I think nursing, like, you learn to turn off your emotions sometimes. And like in certain situations, you're like, okay, I could cry, but I'm not going to. And so I think that's like almost one of the only places that I just like fully like don't try to like turn that on. Where I'm just like, okay, it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. And then it does majority of the time.
It's definitely like my outlet, and like TikTok videos too. Like I'm like, I will just hold all my emotions in, and then I'm like, I lay down to like go to sleep, and I'm scrolling on TikTok, and I'm like, oh my God. And it's like a dog video or something, you know? Like it comes out at the weirdest times because at work we're like so desensitized and just like, you know, I don't know, we put a wall up because we have to. We just like have to like, I don't know. But yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like,
oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I feel like we have a lot in common in the way that like nursing, wellness, like faith, you know, I'm working on the boyfriend part, but like, I feel like we do have a lot in common.
Go to a random country bar. No, I'm kidding.
Look, I love a dive bar. I love a
No,
dive bar.
I love the vibe too, because I feel like we do have so much in common. I feel like there's so many girls like us, and that's kind of why I wanted to start like the podcast, like the balanced community. That's why I came up with the name Balanced, just because in all aspects we're doing like such unique things, but I feel like there's so many more people. It might not just be like where we're at, but can relate to it. Like nursing, but we're still like clean girls in our 20s who go to Pilates, who are involved in faith, which I feel like all those things together can sometimes like not flow as well as they do. But then when you find people who like get the vibe, you're like, okay, like this makes sense. More people think like this and have this kind of flow. So it's nice to connect.
Yes.
Oh, TikTok.
Yeah. I know. It's so nice. I would love to like, I don't know how, but like plan a like, I don't know if you follow Janet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, love
like
her.
I would love to get everyone together. I have like talked about a nursing, and it doesn't even have to be like nursing girls. I've been trying to plan like an ATL or like just a meetup with like, because I honestly have girls like followers that like I know on a first name basis now, just because like I've known them from following me for a while. They're always on my live, like anyway. And so we had talked about doing like a meetup, but I'm like, how fun would it be to like have like us creators, I guess, and then like a big group of us to like meet up. I don't know.
I would love that. And honestly, as long as we like nurse plan it and plan it like 3 months ahead, I think that would
nurse plan it. Oh my God. I feel like, I don't know if you feel like this, but I feel like my life as a nurse moves so fast because I'm constantly having to think about what I'm doing. Like, I think our March schedule or our April schedule is coming out soon to do. Like, I'm like,
April.
I don't even know what I'm doing next week, much less in April.
I have a group chat with my boyfriend's mom and his brother's girlfriend. And she's like, okay, like, because she's an esthetician, so she kind of like plans out really far too. So she's like, I'm like, okay, this is my schedule. Like, what family gatherings do we have the next 3 months? Like, just like off. And like, it's literally texted like, hey, we planned this. Because of course the boys don't plan anything ever. So it's like, we literally have a specific group chat just to plan that far ahead.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I feel like my family is notorious for like my aunt literally just texted me this morning. It was like, what are you doing Saturday? We're having like a going away party, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I work, but like I will be showing up afterward to the party. Like my family is.
Yeah. Mine's so type B, and like they'll be like, hey, like we're gonna come visit in 2 days. And I'm like, okay. My dad. So we fly for free. So like traveling is really easy. All my siblings are all over. Like 2 of my siblings are in California, one's in Utah, my other brother's in New Jersey /
oh my gosh.
And so it's like everyone's just like always bopping around. But I'm like, guys, can we just like plan a real trip for once, please? So I can be involved the whole time.
Yes.
I do love the idea of doing something, all of us. I think that would be so fun. Even if we just like go somewhere warm for like a week.
I know. I would love that.
I know a lot of peace nurses too, like randomly, but that would be so fun. Just like whoever wants to come, let's all go and make TikToks and do stuff.
I would love that so much. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if you saw, it was like it was like a few months ago, but it was when like, maybe a church trip was going on, but it was like a group of like somewhat smaller creators, and it was like I want to say there was a nurse there. There's a girl from Atlanta. I don't know if you follow her. She has like 3 boys. And
Oh, yes. I know exactly who you're talking about.
okay. She's like always on live. I love watching their stuff. She is such a good mom. But it was like a group of them that planned something, and they just looked like they had the most fun time. And like that nurse edition.
Yep.
It'd be so much fun.
We're gonna make it an annual trip.
Yes. I would love that so much.
Yeah, that would be so fun. I'm like, we need to like FaceTime and do updates now, because I feel like when you're online for so long and then you like finally see them or like get to talk to them, it's like, wait, we've known each other for so long now. Like we're so involved. I see you every day. Like
yes, I know. Like I feel like I've known you for a long time, and I'm like, I know plenty about you to where like, I don't know, this is nice that like it just like flows, you know?
Yeah, no, so much fun. Thank you so much for coming on Balance with Bailey. I'm so excited that you were my first interview too, because I feel like the nursing content creating, like it just flows perfectly. So do you want to like say all your like social handles and all of that so that everybody can follow you?
Okay, yes. So if you guys don't follow me, my TikTok is Annabel Beach, ANNABEL, beach like the beach. And then I have 2 different Instagrams. My Instagram for nursing is Cardiac Nurse AB, and then my like real life Instagram is just _Annabel Beach _ I just have 2. One, I keep my nursing and my normal content kind of separate, so go follow if you wish.
Perfect. Okay, well, thank you guys for listening. Love you all so much. Bye.